What is going on, everybody? Today is the day. I'm super excited. This is one of the most important videos I will ever be recording in my life, probably, and this is one of the most important videos you'll ever watch from me because this is going over the advanced sales process. This video is specifically for my clients and sales reps on my client sales teams, and this is super important to pay attention to. Please make sure that you are not distracted while watching this video. This is the video SOP for the advanced sales process. You've probably received this advanced sales process step-by-step guide, and this is the video going over the exact framework in a visual and video framework. This is super important that you watch this at least 2 or 3 times with zero distractions, because my clients who follow this sales process to a T make 3 times more money from their paid ads, from their paid ad leads, than my clients who do not follow this to a T. Okay, so this is extremely, extremely important. First thing I'm gonna do is go over who this is for, why this is important. This is for any coaching, consulting, software company, service-based company, really any company that sells a high-ticket product. Bare minimum, they're selling at least $3,000 in price point for their product, ideally $5K plus. And the reason you need to take this really seriously is because the intention of this guide is to train you and your sales team, right? You sales reps that are watching this video, on the exact sequence of actions that are needed to quickly and profitably close high ticket deals at scale, specifically from paid ads. Okay, now here's the dilemma that my clients run into, and this is one of the biggest bottlenecks of my entire life in my relationships with my clients, is most of my clients, their sales teams have been able to successfully close deals from leads who have been warmed up already, right? They've come from referrals. Maybe it's their leads that have come from a company's YouTube channel, a TikTok, or a podcast or something. And that's fantastic that you're able to close deals and have a high close rate, and you're able to consistently and efficiently close deals that way. But that's not scalable. There's only a certain amount of people that are already warmed up to a certain degree, and it's fantastic that you're able to do that. And you should continue to close those deals and continue to do that. However, if you want the ultimate form of marketing and sales leverage, you have to implement paid ads. And if you want to scale with paid ads, you must be able to convert cold traffic, which basically means closing leads who came through the marketing funnel. They filled out a form. Today they saw a video. Today's the first day they ever saw the owner of the company talking in an ad, or it's the first time they've ever seen the company, period. Right? You need to be able to close deals that come through today or within the last few weeks who did not know the company before seeing that ad or seeing or filling out this form. Right? These are cold leads. These are people that have not watched a bunch of content yet. Okay? Converting cold traffic is a completely different game than converting and closing deals from warm or hot traffic. Okay? And the analogy I like to use is, I'm going to get to this diagram here and run through this in a second. The analogy I love to use is high school football versus the NFL, right? If you're in the United States, you know what the NFL is, right? National Football League. If you were to take a high school football player, right? A pretty decent high school football player, even if they're really good, right? If you throw them directly from high school football into the NFL, what's going to happen? That high school football player is going to get murked in the NFL. Why? Because they're not prepared. They don't have the skill set yet. They're not at that level. They're not at elite. They don't have an elite skill set yet. Okay? Now, when you take a sales team or a sales process, right? The high school football is just like closing deals to leads that are warm, that are referrals, or they come from a YouTube channel, etc., right? That's high school football. Closing deals at scale and closing high-ticket deals really fast to people who come from paid ads is the NFL. It's a completely different game. You need a completely different process, a completely different set of fundamentals. You need a completely different skill set to close deals from paid ads, right? The NFL, okay? And so what typically happens is I come in, we turn paid ads on, we get a ton of leads and booked calls that are qualified, right? They have over a certain income level. They're qualified versus, based on whatever, qualifications of that specific client's company, okay? And the sales reps are mind blown. They're like, oh, these people are harder to get in contact with. Like, something's wrong with these leads. Like, why are they not answering me as fast? They're showing up to the call. They're not as sold. They haven't watched a certain amount of content yet. The show up rate's lower. My close rate's lower. These people don't even know the founder. They don't even know the founder. They don't even know what the company is. Obviously, they don't know the company yet because all they saw was a paid ad, and all they have done is they've raised their hand. If they filled out a lead form, all they've done is they've seen an ad. They say, "Oh, I'm interested in this. I want to learn more information," and they raise their hand expressing interest. Right? That's the difference. That's all they've done. So it's obvious that they have not been completely sold yet. They don't know the company. They're not super familiar with the company yet. Right? It's our job as salespeople to take those people that are raising their hand, saying, "I'm interested," and ask them about their problems, find out more about them, build trust, sell them, and then close them. They're not completely sold yet. And so the advanced sales process takes care of that. And I'm going to teach you the exact steps, the exact touch points, the exact things you need to do to close, let's say, a $10,000 or even a $20,000 price point product or service or program of some sort within a 7 to 14 day window of time. For sure within a 30-day window of time. Okay? And so if you're a client of mine or if you're a sales rep on one of my client teams, you should have access to the advanced sales process document, as you can see here with these steps. Essentially in this video, I'm going to run through these steps. I'm going to refer back to this. I'm going to refer back to this document here as we go through this and some other resources, okay? So let's set the stage, okay? So step one, as you can see on this doc here, step one is kind of the trigger that starts this whole thing. So the advanced sales process that I'm going over here is for inbound leads. So I run a lot of Facebook ad campaigns for my clients. Let's use Facebook ad inbound leads as the example for this whole thing. Just for a simple example. It could be YouTube ads, TikTok ads. It could be something else, but we're going to use that as an example, right? Step one is what happens when a Facebook lead has filled out a lead form, has filled out an application, and they are present in, the CRM, or, if you're more of a beginning company, even just a spreadsheet like this, okay? They've come in, you see a new lead has come through. Maybe you got a notification via Slack or an email notification. Oh, a new lead came through from Facebook ads, right? Step one is you identify a new lead has come through and you check for a booked call. Okay, so step one. Oh, a new lead has come through. Okay, then you identify, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. Has that lead booked a sales call / demo? Have they already booked a call? Did they come through the funnel and apply and then proceed to book a call? Do they already have a booked call scheduled? If no, if they have not booked a call, then you are going to send them a pre-call text / email. Okay, this is step two. I'm going to go through both sides of each scenario here. Okay, you're going to go into the CRM. Okay, for example, if this lead came through, I can indicate here, okay, this person has already booked a call. Or if in the spreadsheet, I have an indicator, okay, this person already booked a call. Okay, so if they have not booked a call, the first thing you're going to do is step two. You're going to send the pre-call text. And what that is literally all you're going to do is you're going to send, "Hey, it's Nick," or "Hey, it's Nick from, XYZ company," right? And the reason you're going to do that, especially if you're using iPhone, is because when you go to do the discovery call, which is what I'll tell you about that in a second. When you call the lead, you are going to have a higher probability of getting them to pick up the phone because you just texted them. And if they have an iPhone, when you text them, "Hey, it's Nick," and then you call them, it's going to say maybe Nick on their caller ID, which obviously makes them feel more familiar. Oh, maybe this person's someone I know, right? So first thing you're going to do is as soon as possible, right? This is key. As soon as possible, you're going to text, "Hey, it's Nick." And then right away, you're going to do the discovery call. You're going to call them right away, as soon as possible, right? This is one of the keys that screws up most sales teams and closing teams from paid ads, right? Is they don't contact the leads as soon as possible, okay? And you might be used to people just showing up because they're coming from YouTube, a YouTube channel or from a referral or something. Warm traffic doesn't need to be contacted right away because they already know who the company is. If someone saw an ad just today for the first time from your company, right, you have to contact them as soon as possible, because all they might have been on the toilet scrolling through the phone, or they might have been in the grocery store scrolling through, or whatever, right? Your company's not their priority, so you need to contact them as soon as possible, because when they fill out that lead form, when they first become a lead, that's when their interest level is as high as possible. So the faster you can contact them, the better, because their interest level is still going to be relatively high. Okay, so this is the whole key here. Call them as soon as possible. You do the pre-call text, hey, it's Nick, then you call them right away to do the discovery call. I'm going to explain that in a second. The discovery call, first of all, you call them right away. If they don't pick up, you immediately double dial them. You call them again right away. Always call twice, right? If it goes straight to voicemail, you don't just write, oh, it went to voicemail, right? Their phone could have been on do not disturb. So you have to call them again right away. Always double dial, always. Always call a second time if they did not pick up the phone. Okay? Okay. So if they did not already book a sales call, then you're gonna go right into the step 2 and step 3, which is the pre-call text and then the discovery call. I'm gonna get to the discovery call explanation in a second. If they already did book a sales call, if you see in the CRM, okay, there's an indication, okay, this person already booked a sales call, okay, then you're going to then ask yourself, okay, did they book with me or did they book with another sales rep on the team? Okay, if they did not book with you and they booked a call with another rep on the team, then you're going to stop and you're going to stop. That's the end of the process for you, right? Because if they booked a call with Bob, let's say you're James, right? If they booked a call with Bob, it's Bob's responsibility to call that person as soon as possible because they're booked with Bob. Okay? Now, if they booked with you, if yes, they did book with you, then you're going to go right into the pre-call text. Okay? Hey, it's Nick. And then step 3, you're going to call as soon as possible, double dial to do the discovery call. Okay? Now, if they did not already book a call, it's really important that you call them right away because essentially what happens is if they did not book a call with one of the sales reps already, like one of the closers, then the lead is up for grabs by any of the sales reps if they did not already book a call and are on the calendar with a specific sales rep. If all they did was fill out a lead form or an application, they have not booked a call, they're up for grabs. Whoever gets them to respond, right? Whoever gets them in contact with them and has a conversation, they will be the owner of that lead, if that makes sense. Okay. So step 2, once you're contacting the lead, as long as they didn't book a call or as long as they booked a call with you, you're gonna say, hey, it's your first name, and then you're gonna immediately call them. Okay. Now, the discovery call is what's going to happen here. So again, you're going to call them twice if they don't pick up. Discovery call, you're going to have some sort of discovery call script that you're going to follow. And the whole point of the discovery call is this is not a scheduled call. You're going to do your best to get a discovery call done between when they booked the call or when they became a lead. And if they already booked a call, then you're going to do your best to actually get them on a discovery call, right? By calling them and contacting them to chat with them prior to the sales call that they already booked, if they booked a call, right? If they came through a funnel from paid ads and they booked a call, that is the closing call. Okay, so you want to get a discovery call done between that time period to decrease the time lapse of how long it takes to close a deal. Okay, the discovery call also is intended, if they did not book a call yet, to get them booked on the calendar if they did not self-book a call, if they did not themselves schedule a call with one of the team members, okay? The other thing a discovery call is key for is setting expectations, getting them to show up to that call if they already did book a call, and qualifying them, seeing if they're qualified. You'll see there's 3 major points here that are the qualification points that you need to find out, okay? Number 1, do they have an urgent problem or desire? Number 2, do they have buying power or enough buying power, right? And number 3, are they a decision maker? Can they make a decision? These are the 3 things that they need to have to actually make a decision, right? So for example, if they are not qualified, then you're going to not get a call booked with them if they didn't book a call. If they already booked a call and you realize, oh, this person's not qualified, then you cancel the call that they already booked to open up that time on your calendar, right? Because you don't want to get on a sales call with people that are clearly not qualified, okay? So that's the point of the discovery call. Okay, I'm going to reiterate that real quick. Find out if they're qualified. Do they have an actual desire or problem that has, you know, your product or service solves? Do they have buying power, and can they make a decision? Or who else needs to be a part of the conversation that to make a decision, etc. Okay. The other thing is to set expectations and get them to show up to the call. Okay. So you'll notice on here that I have, you know, a doc here that basically is what you want to do is you want to tell them, hey, you have to watch, and I'll explain this in a second. You're basically setting expectations, you know, make sure they know that there is a Zoom call that they're going to be hopping on. And then you also want to make sure that you send them content that they must watch in full before that scheduled call tomorrow at 3 p.m., Thursday at 3 p.m., whenever the time is that they booked a call, or whenever the time is that you're booking them for, if you're manually going to book them, if they didn't book a call already. Okay, this is the point of the sales script. Now, back to my little diagram here. Okay, if they already booked a call, right? If they already booked a call, and you should know that by now because you've checked, yes, they booked a call, or no, they did not book a call, right? So there should be an indicator in your CRM or in your spreadsheet, you know, whether they booked a call, right? You can also just go to, if you're using Calendly or whatever scheduling software, you can see whether they booked a call or not, okay? If they already booked the sales call, then you're going to use discovery call script A. If they did not already book a sales call, then you're going to use discovery call script B, okay? And so what you want to do is there's going to be two sales scripts that are very, very similar, but a little bit different, right? So script B is for if they applied, but they did not book a call themselves. Script A is if they already booked a call. The only difference is script A, for the people that already booked a call, is the frame of the conversation is, hey, I saw that you booked a call, wanted to ask some questions, get to know you a little bit, see how I can help. So I'm prepared for our call tomorrow at 3 or Thursday at 3 or whatever, okay? Let me straighten this out a little bit, okay? So you're calling to get a touch point, let them know that you're a person, make sure that they understand that they have to show up to the call, then qualify them, okay? Script B is basically saying, hey, this is Nick from XYZ company. Okay, I saw you just filled out an application. You didn't book a call yet. I wanted to find out more information on you and what, you know, how we can help, what you're looking to do. And if it makes sense, I'd love to get you scheduled for a call later today or tomorrow or sometime this week so that we can sit down and actually break down how I can actually help you, how we can help you with our product. Okay, then you qualify them. If they're qualified, then you get a call scheduled. Okay, you get a call scheduled for later that day even, or the next day or whatever. Okay, and again, the discovery call script is qualifying them, determining if they have a desire, a need, buying power, can they make a decision, and also this is a key, you need to make sure that you tell them, hey, I have content, some case studies from the company, some testimonials, and some really good content to explain how our product or our program works. I need to make sure that you watch this content before our call tomorrow at 3, aka the call that they're scheduled for, okay, on Zoom or in person. I need you to watch this content in full so that we can both be prepared fully for that call tomorrow, so that you're prepared to take action if it's a good fit. Is that fair? They're going to say yes. You're going to text, email, or email them over this pre-call instructions content, okay, with, you know, a long form sales video of some sort from the founder, a how-to video, a video of how the process works, case study video, stuff like that. You can also send the Zoom link, okay? That is extremely important because you need to, what we're solving here is warming them up for the close. We need to warm them up with content. We need to warm them up. We need to get touch points. We need them to actually consume us in the sales process and consume marketing and sales content so that they can become more familiar, become a fan, you know, it builds trust, etc., so that they're more willing to take action on that sales call that's tomorrow or the next day or whatever, or, you know, whatever day this week their call is, okay? Boom. If the lead replied and the discovery call if the lead does not reply and the discovery call does not get complete, let's say you called them again, maybe you called them a third time, you texted them, etc., and they did not respond, then all you're going to do is nothing else other than you're going to attempt to contact them later that day, again, with another text, double dial, etc., okay, and or the next day, right? So you're just going to essentially, in simple terms, you're just going to keep trying to contact them, right? Obviously, some people don't pick up on the first time, right? But the faster you contact them, the higher the chances are that they will pick up, okay? I think I watched a video from Grant Cardone, if you know who that is, and he said on average, it takes 8 contact attempts to actually get a response and have a conversation with an internet lead, which I've experienced not less than 8, but that just puts it into perspective. If they don't pick up, they don't reply, just keep trying. Later that day, the next day, the day after that, etc. Okay, just because someone doesn't reply, doesn't pick up the phone, does not mean that they are not interested, does not mean that they're not a good fit, etc. Okay, if yes, they do pick up the phone and a discovery call does get completed, or they respond in some way, you are going to go to step 4. Okay, step 4. And you need to make sure that you read through all this. I'm not going to go through all the text right now that's on this document. Step 4, the sales rep or closer claims the lead, okay, in the CRM. That means like you have some kind of setting in here where you put your name on it like this, okay, just like that. Or you claim the lead in here like this, okay. And to be clear, this happens simultaneously while you're on the call. So if they pick up, then they reply, you immediately are going to claim the lead as yours, because we want to incentivize speed to contacting the lead and getting into communication, right? So to be clear, this is specifically if they did not already book a call with you. If they already booked a call with you, then you should already have claimed that lead, right? And that can be automated somehow in here, right? This, like for example, this person booked a call with this guy Connor, okay? And it automatically assigned him the lead. He's the owner of that lead, all right? But if they did not book a call yet and they replied to you and you got them on a phone call, then you want to claim the lead as yours in the CRM, in the spreadsheet, whatever, okay? Next. If the lead qualified? If the lead is not qualified, meaning they did not pass, these markers here in that discovery call, you're going to mark the lead as unqualified or a bad fit, etc. If the lead is qualified, you're going to move to step 5. Okay. Step 5, like I said, pre-call content gets sent to the lead. That's what I showed right here. Okay. So this is like when you're ending the discovery call, the intro call, whatever you want to call it. Okay. You say again, hey, you need to watch this content before the call tomorrow. They agree. And then you text and send them the pre-call content that they must watch and study before the call. Okay. That's step 5. Okay. Step 6, the next day comes around, or the day of the scheduled call comes around. The sales rep or / closer confirms the call the morning of, and you can have actual templated emails. Let me see if I can find this here. Okay, just like this. Okay, morning confirmation, text / email. You send. It's pretty simple. You text and or email a simple confirmation email or text the morning of. If the call is super early in the morning, then I would send this confirmation text or email the evening prior, right? And it goes something like this. Hey, Bob, just wanted to reach out and make sure we're still good for our Zoom call today at 3 p.m. later this afternoon, or or tomorrow at 9 a.m. Okay, here's the Zoom link. Okay, and you can even, for example, you could even send them a piece of value as well, right? Again, here's the link to that video that I sent you. Please make sure you watch it by the time we hop on a call. Thanks. Bye. Right? That is that's a confirmation message. Okay. Next step is optional. The rep or the sales or the closer text/emails the virtual meeting link, like a Zoom call. If you're doing a Zoom call, this would be for that. Let me straighten this out again. The closer text/emails, the Zoom meeting link, for example, 10 minutes prior to the start of the call. This is a little bit overkill, but if you want to be super dialed in, then you can do that. Okay. Does the lead show up to the call? Okay. If the lead does show up to the Zoom call or shows up to the meeting, okay, we're gonna go to step 7, where the sales rep/closer conducts a sales meeting. Pretty straightforward. And you want to have your company should have some sort of standardized process for a script for that as well. Handling objections, the process for how to go through the sales meeting, all that stuff is obviously important. Okay. So you're going to do that. You're going to try to get the deal closed, obviously. Okay. If the lead does not show up to the call, then you're going to go to step 8. Okay. The sales rep/closer calls and texts the lead. So let's say you're 2 or 3 minutes into the meeting and they haven't showed up yet. You're going to get out your phone. The sales rep's going to get out their phone, text, hey, I'm on the Zoom meeting. I'm on the Zoom meeting. And then if they don't show up, call. All right, ring, ring, ring. Again, double dial if they don't pick up the phone. You always double dial. Okay. And then you're going to attempt to get them on the call, within 10 minutes ideally, so you can still have the call. Right? Maybe sometimes people forget. Right? Sometimes people are business owners, investors, people like that. They're busy. Sometimes slips their mind or something came up, etc. Life happens. Okay. If the lead answers that phone call, those texts, right, and ends up getting on the meeting, then you're going to do the meeting, right? Step 7. Backtrack to step 7. The sales rep closer conducts a sales meeting and ideally closes that deal. Okay. If you call them, text them because they're not showing up and they do not show up and that sales meeting does not happen, we're going to go to step 9. Okay. I'll go through here. Step 9, closer schedules a follow-up call, right? If the call is conducted, if the person doesn't show up. Okay. Rep/closer sends reschedule email and text, right? That is, and you should also have this standardized as well, right? Reschedule email for no-show. Hey, so-and-so, we had a call booked today. I guess something came up. Please let me know. Are you still interested in blah, 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 blah? Here's the link to reschedule with me. Or you can say, when's a good time to reschedule? And then you ideally put a link to some case studies again, or that value video or some kind of value, right? Hope to talk to you soon and find a time that works, right? Something like that, right? That can be said in a bunch of different ways, right? Obviously, you want to be professional. Okay. If a follow-up call gets scheduled, then we go all the way back, and then the sales rep/closer again confirms the call the morning of that follow-up call, right? And then we go back through this process. Okay. If a call does not get rescheduled right away or within a few days, then step 10, sales and marketing value follow-up. Obviously, we want to have some, we put them into, ideally some kind of email list where they're getting dripped like value and case studies, through time, and sends them back to book a follow-up call. This is also very important for the sales rep specifically. You can't just forget about people, right? There's so much money in your pipeline. I bet all of you watching this video have thousands and thousands, potentially hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars sitting in your pipeline for people that no-showed or just didn't close yet or whatever, right? You want to send value follow-up until the lead says, fuck off, stop contacting me, or until you, the sales rep, become deceased, right? Either you follow up with value every day or every week, every few weeks, every month or so with new case studies of successful customers, with new value videos from the owner or whomever from the company, right? Could be the owner filmed this awesome video on how to blah, 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 or a process for blah, blah, blah. Oh, we just had this amazing new case study that came through. One of our successful customers it made me think of you. And then you send that text or that email. Okay. That's called value-driven follow-up, right? You're providing value through time to follow up. People love that. That's how you close high-ticket deals. through follow-up. The money's in the follow-up. Okay? So you send value follow-up until they either tell you to fuck off or until you die. Okay? There's no other way that ends, right? Obviously, if you're following up and they're just not responding, the frequency becomes longer between your follow-ups, but you don't want to stop following up if they haven't said fuck off. It might just be bad timing, okay? If you're doing value-driven follow-up and they finally, a few months later say, hey, you guys are fucking awesome. Let's hop on a follow-up call, right? You get the follow-up call scheduled and whoop, right back to step 6. If a follow-up call gets scheduled, the sales rep / closer confirms the call the morning of and restarts his process to get the deal closed, okay? Now, if on these sales calls, ideally on that first call you get a deal closed. That's what we want, right? Handle objections, get them closed, at least get a deposit down. Quick tangent. If you guys are having trouble getting deals closed, get a deposit of it, $500 or $1,000 or a couple grand, depending on the price point of your actual product, and get the onboarding process started, right? Allowing them to put a deposit down lubricates the closing process and the onboarding process because it's not as big of an investment right up front, right? So that's just a side note, pro tip. You can implement deposits. It helps a lot. It only is going to help you close more deals, right? Because okay, well, if you're not ready to jump in, completely, we get that, quite often. What we do for that is we want to get at least a deposit, a refundable deposit, to get you started, to get you acquainted, so you can kind of see how the process is going. If you absolutely hate it and you don't want to continue, then we'll just refund the deposit. Is that fair? That helps get the deal closed, okay? So if the deal gets closed, obviously you onboard them, you're happy. This is a credit card, this is a wallet, that's money, that's your happy face, that's the customer's happy face. The deal gets closed and you do your onboarding process. The onboarding process looks different company to company. Make sure that you guys have a clear onboarding process, obviously. Sometimes that's as simple as getting an agreement signed, getting the payment, and having them book a call for an onboarding call, for example, right? If the deal does not get closed, then what happens? You immediately go into sales and marketing value-driven follow-up, right? Even if they showed up to the first call, not all the deals are going to get closed on the first call. It's okay. Just get them on a follow-up call, okay? Ideally, if they don't close yet, you want to, while you're on that call, you do not get off that call if they're interested and they're qualified and they're a potential. They just don't close for whatever reason. Always get a follow-up call scheduled while you're on the call. Do not get off the Zoom call or do not leave the meeting until a follow-up call is scheduled on the calendar for both parties. Okay? And the reason is because if you don't get a follow-up call scheduled before you leave that call, the likelihood of having a follow-up call happen is extremely low. Just trust me. It's going to be extremely, the likelihood of you getting on a follow-up call and closing the deal is extremely low if you don't get a follow-up call scheduled on that call before you get off. Always do it. Always. If they give you pushback, I don't have a time yet, I'm just not ready. All you need to say is, hey, look, I want to make sure that I remember and I have you on my list and I have you top of mind. I always make sure to at least get a tentative call scheduled on the calendar so I can remember that we have a call so that we can both, have it top of mind, especially on my end, because I talk to a lot of people. Let's just get a tentative call scheduled on the calendar. We can change it when we get closer, right? It doesn't have to be set in stone. If we need to change the time or change the day when we get closer, no problem. I just want to get a tentative time scheduled on the calendar for a follow-up so I don't forget about you, right? So I have it top of mind, okay? Is that fair? You always say, is that fair, right? Fair, right? People, that's obviously fair. People are going to say, yeah, that's fair, okay? Is that fair? And then you will get the follow-up call rescheduled 95% of the time. If they're not willing to schedule a follow-up call, guess what? They ain't buying from you. They're not buying from you. They're not qualified. Restart. Error. Okay? And that's fine. Right? Get off the call. That person's not really interested. They're probably going to be a pain in the ass. Right? That person's not for us. They're not willing to even do a tentative follow-up call, right? Always get a tentative follow-up call scheduled on that call. Just trust me, just do it. Please just do it. And then get on that call and close the damn deal. Or even get on another call if you need to. Okay? But always get a tentative follow-up call on the calendar. If you and then also while you're doing that, while the deal has not been closed yet, but you're working on getting the deal closed, again, step 10, you're going to do value follow-up. Hey, Bob, the owner just filmed this video on this video on this new process that we're implementing to, blah, 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 blah. Made me think of you, wanted to share with you. Let me know your thoughts, right? Or, hey, Bob, we just had this amazing case study that just came through. One of our customers was actually able to achieve XYZ, amazing desired result that Bob also wants. You just text that to him and email it to him. Made me think of you, wanted to share it with you. Looking forward to working with you. Let me know your thoughts on this. Looking forward to our follow-up call. Something like that. Again, you do that until you die or until they say fuck off. Okay? This, my friends, is the advanced sales process. Again, my clients who follow this to a T, make 3 times more money from their paid ad leads than my clients and their sales teams that don't follow this to a T. This is extremely, I get emotional and passionate about this because this is the biggest bottleneck that I've experienced in my life by far. Obviously in my business, working with my clients, running ads for my clients. Okay. If you contact the leads fast and put these touch points in place to warm people up and get the deal closed, you will close more deals and close them faster. Okay. The reason this is important is because if you have a lot of leaks in your bucket, if you will, then you're going to lose a lot more money. Sales reps are going to make less commissions, right? You're going to help less people that need your product or service, right? Get these touch points down to a T. Follow this specifically. I hope this video has exposed some holes in your sales process, specifically your sales process for dealing with paid ads, because almost every single client that I work with and run ads for, they have some kind of leaks. They're not doing something in here, right? Especially the first part where they're not contacting leads fast. They just expect people to show up to calls 3 days later when they came from paid ads. Like they don't even know you yet. They have a life. They have other stuff going on, right? And so do yourselves a favor and do your prospects a favor and get these touch points right. Okay, do them. Okay, do these to a T and you'll get better results. Okay, I hope this video was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. This, again, is paired with this advanced sales process document. Okay, this might get updated a little bit as time goes on, but this is the document. You should have this. If you're one of my clients or on the team of one of my clients' sales teams as a rep. Okay, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me or the leader of the company that we're working with. This is extremely important. So take action on this, implement this to a T, and let's make some money.